a war going on. The books can't escape from the cold of morning steam. It's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the mother. You know how we do it.
All right, there we are. A pleasant good morning to you coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Thursday, February 26th. We've got a great sports betting day ahead, including action from the NBA, NHL, college basketball, the golf tournament getting underway. We're in the Florida swing now, so we're getting started a little earlier here with our action. They're already teed off here and already few holes in for sure. Got some guys making the turn even so far out at the Cognizant Classic here on Thursday. Thank you for joining me here. We're going to preview almost every game in the NBA. 4 teams are going to hit the road here on the show. We're not going to take a look at games involving 2 tank teams, but we're going to look at the other matchups here. We're also going to take a look at all the games in the NHL, and also I've got 5 or 6 college basketball games, but really we're waiting for tournament time. We need to get to next week. We need to get through these last couple of days, get to the conference tournaments. You know, there's still another week to go in a couple of the conferences, but get some action underway. I mean, really the championships are almost decided in all of them. We'll talk about a couple that aren't here on the show today. All right, thanks for joining me here. Should be a pretty good day of action as well. Hey, also, don't forget, you can check out more coverage from me here today with VB MMA Picks. We did get the preview in this week for the action in Mexico City this week with Brandon Moreno, my Tijuana brother, going up against Loner Kavanaugh, the Londoner. Flyweights here, top 15 contenders on Saturday. Make sure you join us here on the Sports Money Network for that fight coverage from Mexico City. We'll have companion stream coverage here over the weekend on Saturday with Mikey, with Jeff, and we'll talk sports and UFC all Saturday long. Make sure you join us here on the Sports Money Network. There we go. And hopefully everything's working here in the chat. Now, if you are experiencing any trouble, over the last, Mikey was having some problems there yesterday. I was doing some other shows. It seemed like not all the chat entries were getting through. So if there is any problem, and don't think I'm seeing you or I'm ignoring you, my apologies here in advance right now. Maybe it is all fixed and we'll be ready to go. But there definitely was some problems with YouTube within the last 24 hours or so with some of the chat, what I've seen, what I've read also on one of the YouTube information sites. So hopefully it'll be okay, but we'll preview all the action here with our games today. There's a little bit of steam that just came out. We've got Stony Brook and Monmouth here. Some early steam action at this point. This steam is to the over here with Stony Brook and Monmouth. Oh, man, you got to think that might be good to go. But, man, it's all the way up here from 143. Oh, and it's up here now to 146 with Stony Brook and Monmouth. A little bit of steam here this morning as we get rolling here on the show. So we'll have plenty more for sure with this big card today. Like I said, I don't have a lot of games in the coverage today just because, there's not a lot of things that are going to happen here as far as the bubble is concerned, if you will, with the tournament bubble. All right, who's here? Who's joining me today in the chat? I want to hear from you. Hey, Daddy Beats was first here. Robert McCormick is here. Irish King talking about it. Hey, I need to do better right now and get us some winners as well. So I'm looking forward to the winners from you guys. Let's see here. Irish King Anaheim on that wild game last night, 6-5. Let's see who else is here. Blake is here. M the Great, Jordy Fuentes. Man, we might as well get rolling. Yeah, I think the chat's working for sure. Blake's got Hampton in that game. In the first game, yeah, we're going to look at that game for sure. We'll be able to get to the previews. I've included that game in there as well. So also, let me see if I can't bring up my golfers here. Like I said, the tournament has just started. In fact, there's several golfers here on the front nine right now and about to make the turn or so, but maybe we can still get in play here. Right now, Kevin Streelman at 4 under is leading the tournament here right now. So let me see if I can't bring up my golfers here today, see if this fits in the window anyway. There we go. That'll work. These are my golfers here that I'm looking forward to target with, outright winner, top 5s, top 10s, possibly top 20s, as you go down the line a little bit. Might try the top guys for a top 5, the middle guys for a top 10, maybe a top 20 at the end. Also, maybe any matchups if some of these guys haven't gone off. I'm looking to see here now if any of my guys, Garrick Higo is 1 under through 7. He's gone off so far for one of my golfers here today. And I think that might be it. But these are my top golfers here this week to play in the tournament here. And let's see, I think I got Keith Mitchell is 1 over through 6. So some of these guys are already, a lot of these guys are already out there. Mac Meisner 2 over already. Man, I shouldn't have went to this part of the segment. But yeah, no Scotty this week. In fact, it's not a great tournament. There's only, I believe, 3 out of the top 25 golfers and 8 out of the top 50 golfers here this week at the Cognizant tournament in Florida. All right, let's get rid of that. It seems like my guys are off to a crummy start already. All right. And Terrell, talking a little Texas Longhorn basketball in there. Let me just cover a little bit of the coverage from last night, and then we'll get right on. There are a lot of games here, so we can't really waste too much time. There is some steam, though, that just came in right now. Eastern Illinois and Lindenwood. We're seeing some steam here to the over with this one with Eastern Illinois and Lindenwood. It was 144. We're up to 146 here with Eastern Illinois and Lindenwood. Also just seconds ago here, a double steam move right now with action here. Let me see what it is here actually. Florida International and Sam Houston steam to the under in this one with FIU and Houston. It was 165. We're down to 164, 163.5 here. Steam to the under with Florida International and Houston. Last night, UConn beat St. John's 72-40. St. John shot less than 20% from the floor in an epic beatdown, the lowest point total for St. John's, I believe, in Big East history, and maybe lowest for a Pitino coach team, I think. St. John's had won 13 in a row and hadn't lost since July 3rd, but they got embarrassed last night. In fact, I think they said Connecticut could have taken the last 20 possessions, just run the shot clock off, and they still would have won because of St. John's epic 0 for 24 field goal shooting to finish the game. Total embarrassment. St. John's not going to do anything this year. Florida beat Texas 84-71 to keep that roll going. Longhorns led at halftime, and they led with 7.5 minutes left, but Florida comes back to win. They've won 8 in a row, 17 of their last 19. Vanderbilt beat Georgia. They never trailed, and the Commodores are 9-6. They had a great record. They lost some games. It's still a great season for Vanderbilt. They haven't been any good in basketball in the last decade. LSU beat Ole Miss in overtime, 106-99, double overtime actually. LSU never led until the second overtime, I think, because they snapped a 5-game losing streak, and Ole Miss lost for the 10th game in a row. DePaul came back to beat Creighton, 72-71, as Creighton led 38-30 at halftime. Blue Demons, they've had some rough luck for sure, but if you look at the Blue Demons, this is only the first time they've won 8 or more games in a season in almost 2 decades. So pretty good run there for DePaul, and Arkansas beat Texas A&M 99-84. As the Razorbacks have won 7 of their last 9. The Aggies are on a losing streak. San Diego State did beat Utah State yesterday. SDSU led by over 20 points in the second half, went on to the victory, and now they're tied for first place in the Mountain West here, and maybe they will be able to share for that title. They're going to have to win the conference tournament, and maybe only one team's going to make it for the Mountain West, maybe 2. So we'll see, but San Diego State put themselves in a tough spot, but they did come through there, pounding the ball inside the paint, actually doing a great job there last night. Fairleigh Dickinson with some steam here right now. Dick taking the steam here against Lemoyne. Fairleigh Dickinson was getting 5.5 down to 4.5 here right now with Fairleigh Dickinson. They're taking that steam against Lemoyne of New York. All right, and James Harden suffered a broken hand here. He's going to miss some time for the Cavaliers here right now, and man, we're seeing great surge right here in the markets. Aren't they looking good with all these the software names finally taking off here a little bit? Just as NVIDIA starts to tank, all the other names are going up. All right, let's see what else we got here in the chat. Like I said, we're just going to go rolling here early on with the show here. We got so many games to look at, but I want to get everybody in here. Thanks a lot, Art Tomps and Terrell here as well, Philly Eagle Flyer. All right, and I think that's pretty much it on the news front there. Let's get rolling here with our games. Like I said, we're not going to go over every NBA game. 2 of them I've got rid of here. Did have I'm not even going to review that yesterday. I wasn't happy here with some of my results on the show, especially in the NBA. I don't know if I could even find the winners here yesterday, but we'll get back at it here today. Same on the hockey. I mean, a little bit of a tough run here right now, and I appreciate all the subscribers hanging in there with me here at this point. But it was great to have hockey back there last night. We did pick up some winners here on the ice, I thought anyway. In a few of the games here, we did have Buffalo and New Jersey game to go under. That one went under 2-1 there yesterday. But really, other than that, few and far between for me here with the action on Wednesday. Like I said, just took too many chances. We did have Anaheim. That was it. But Anaheim, crazy game, wasn't it? 6-5, and there was no scoring really in the other games. 6-5 in that one. Also, college basketball did have a few winners here. I know I had a couple winners on the show, at least in college basketball. We hit that parlay yesterday. That was a good call there. We also had under in St. John's and Connecticut, but we had that SMU Cal the Cal under parlay against SMU there yesterday for a winner. All right, let's get to that steam here real quick. Then we'll get to the previews right now because it's popping off. Hey, I will pass this one along. We're not previewing this game, so here we go. Sacramento and Dallas steam to the over here at 230. It was 233, but we're up to 235.5 right now. It looks like with Sacramento and Dallas steam to the over, and well, they're not even good enough to make the morning steam show. How about that? It's up to 236 actually here at the Circa in Las Vegas. Also, Northern Colorado taking the steam here right now in their matchup with Eastern Washington. Northern Colorado was a 1-point dog. They're now a 1-point favorite here in their matchup with Eastern Washington as Northern Colorado is taking the steam here on the Morning Steam Show. It's part of the fun. Maybe even 1.5 here right now. All right, let's get moving. I think that might be it for the current steam, but there's going to be more, I promise. So stick around and we'll get those to you. All right. Oh, let's see here. Jordy's going to have some, we have some Europa League action today here. The featured coverage certainly tonight. UEFA Europa League here and Europa Conference League today. So I've got some picks in there. I don't know if I'll go dipping that low for public plays, but thank you to Jordy. All right, let's get moving here, though, and we'll start in the NBA. And we'll lead it off here with the Heat taking on Philadelphia 76ers to get us started here with Philadelphia favored by 2. The total 240. Yeah, 240. Bryant and Maryland Baltimore College steam to the under here in this one with Bryant and UMBC. It was 139, and we're down here right now to 138. Steam to the under with Bryant and Baltimore County. Also, Chicago State and Long Island steam to the over in this one with Chicago State and Long Island. It was 139. It's all the way up to 141.5, maybe even 142 here with Chicago State and Long Island steam to the over here on the Morning Steam Show. Okay, we're talking Heat. We're talking Sixers here to get us started. Now, the Heat did run into it last time out of the gate here. They had won a few in a row, but then lost to Milwaukee on the road, 126-117. Man, I was on the Heat in that game. Philadelphia, meanwhile, a couple of wins here over Minnesota and Indiana. They opened up the second half with a pair of losses, but 2-2 since then right now. I mean, they're favored here in this one by a couple of points against the Heat. These two teams met back in November. Miami won at 127-117, and Miami is really kind of owned over on Philadelphia a little bit when these two teams have met. For Miami here, they've won 5 straight meetings with the Sixers. They've also covered 5 of the last 6 meetings. Philadelphia, meanwhile, just 2-4 straight up and against the spread in their last 6. Philly's gone over in 10 of their last 15 and at home and 5 of their last 6. Overall, Miami's had a little bit of trend to the under here, but man, Philadelphia has given up some massive points here of late. Miami's shown some defensive tendencies, but they've gone over in 3 of their last 4, 2 of the 3 out of the break here. I know that says 240, but I got to go over in this one with Miami and Philadelphia. I'm going over here with this one. See how you have it here. Philly is 18-14 to the over as a favorite. Miami's 16-12 to the over as a dog. So let's see what we got here with the chat, and it's going to be Public Enemy. Public Enemy is going under. It is a big number, Public Enemy. I'll give you that much, though, for sure. here. And let's see here. Kripke is on the Sixers. Art Thompson is on the under. Bobby Mack is taking the Sixers in this one. And the Philly Eagle Flyers going to both teams to score parlay in the Europa action. Blake is on the Sixers here. And Irish King here is on Philadelphia. And I want to say thank you to Truther in the chat sharing the show right now. Really thank that man, Truther. It's really cool. Hope we got a group of guys doing some sports betting there. Great way to hang out with your coworkers and friends after work, meeting up, having a cocktail or some food and watching some sports and betting on the games together and all having a rooting interest. Sometimes we agree, and that makes it even that much more fun. So I hope here, hey, I'm trying to bring some winners, but always we're bringing some great new information. One thing about all the talk today about AI and about models and solving sports betting, we all have the same access really to a lot of the same information, don't we, as far as injuries and trends and power ratings. You might have your own, but we should kind of all agree in a way. What the key here to sports betting is how you interpret that information, right? And also being ahead of the pack there a little bit. I think when we talk about the prediction markets and everything, I think the people who are going to win are the people who can actually predict something. An amazing concept. Great truther. Thank you. All right. I'll take the over in this one. All right, the Hornets are at the Pacers here, and action here for Thursday with the Hornets. Oh man, are they 12? The Hornets. Imagine we're here on the a year later, if you will, right? The Hornets are 12.5-point favorites over the Pacers right now. What a turnaround for these franchises in a way. It feels like the Pacers might be back here eventually. Definitely without their superstar in the lineup this year, it's been a problem here, and they're losing again. They've lost 4 in a row here right now, and come out of the break here with a losing streak. 4 games, they haven't covered in any of them. Meanwhile, Charlotte, look at this. 12.5-point favorites on the road. They just covered 11 at Washington. And, I'm getting so tired of the tankathon and almost in a situation where, am I wrong to try to keep coming? I'm tired of being wrong a little bit on trying to think that these spreads get a little too out of control. And, you still got to take them. Oh, there's too many. I just can't do it right now. And maybe I've hung on too long in the past, and I'm just not going to do it because, I've been a tankathon denier for the last couple of years, and I've even thought that maybe it was getting a little bit better, if you will, but it does seem to be in full effect here this year. And that might, what I might be talking about here is putting myself on this big favorite, as uncomfortable as it might feel here to lay 12.5. Charlotte's covering everything in sight right now. Covered 5 straight games here. They've won a couple in a row over weak teams, Washington and Chicago, but playing another weak team here. They beat Chicago by 32 points. Indiana's lost 8 of 10, failed to cover in 4 of 5. Here right now, so come on. I'm probably just gonna lay these points here with the Hornets in the tankathon right now, and not doubt what we've seen here so far. I've already gotten beaten a couple of games here out of the break, trying to think that it's too much of an adjustment, and you might think here, if any teams are going to not be the teams to cover in the tankathon, maybe it would be teams that are just starting to experience their first taste of true success, like these Hornets right now, with this group anyway, right? And maybe you'd only stick to the marquee teams or the power teams, if you will, but I'm taking Charlotte here in this one. I'm laying the points. Here, these are solid under teams. I know that there's going to be some over pressure here. Indiana's gone over in 5 straight at home, over in 5 of their last 6, but it's really been Charlotte that's been the under team. They've gone under in 12 of their last 17, and now they're 23 and 36 to the under, and they've gone under in 7 of 10. I think the thing is, we think of Charlotte kind of a young gun type of team, but any team that's going to have drastic improvement, and they are improving defensively, and that's what makes such a big difference here. And, played some softer teams. But also, to be clear here, Charlotte, they are not toast here just yet. They are in 10th place, 3 games behind the Heat. Nothing's out of the question for this team. Kind of drawing the line here at the Bucks. The Heat are in 8th, the Hawks are in 9th, the Hornets are in 10th, and the Bucks are in 11th. The Bucks are 4 games back of the Heat. From there, you got to go 3 games down to the Bulls. They're barely hanging on, but they're in such disaster mode. And then you got to go 7 games down to the Wizards. So any of those teams that play each other, boom, they're going to be out of this broadcast. All right, let's go to the chat in this one. It seems like we got some comments here with the Hornets and the Pacers. All right, and let's see what they are. Nine Legacy says he's got the Heat, he's got the Hornets on the spread. Nine Legacy. Art Tom's on the Pacers here. Also, Blake M's on the over with this one. Sherelle says last time was Charlotte was under 100. It was back in January 21st. Man, that's how good this Charlotte. They're scoring too. But like I said, they've been unders for quite a bit here for sure. Charlotte, though, 9-1 their last 10, 20-11 against the spread on the road, 11-6 against the spread as a favorite. Public Enemy on the over. Bars on the Hornets here. The Gibson ratings are coming in saying you got to take Charlotte here. Even the Gibson ratings there say it. There's Nasty Nate in the chat talking about that Celtics game. Yeah, they kind of flubbed it up there. I was on them yesterday. That's all right. That was a pretty good trip. If you can go out west and win those games like that, I don't have any problem. And like I said, hopefully we get Tatum back. I don't want any jokes in there that they're better without him. All right, Robert's on the over. Jordy says Hornets are on fire, right? I used to have I had a cool Hornets like a pullover hoodie thing, and it had the big. What's the Hornets name? What is the Hornets name, you guys? It's got a cool name. Not Buzz. It's way better than Buzz. Is the Hornets name? Come on, you guys. All right. Yeah, Nate said under there in that Boston game there yesterday. Boston did a little bit of a clunker there. Oh, man, I was on the over, though. Oh, what happened there? I was just chasing that steam, I think. All right. Terrell, yeah, you know what they say? I don't know, Terrell. This is still a pretty good class, I think. Thank you, Robert. Hugo the Hornet. I knew it was a cool name. Come on, that is cool. That is cool. All right, Denver trying out Hugo the Hornet and purple and turquoise. Those when they were really purple and turquoise. I guess they still kind of are. Okay, that's it for that one. I'm going to take the Hornets here to keep rolling. Charlotte deserves to be good. Rockets and Magic here. NBA action for Thursday. This one's got intrigue right now, right? Like I said, Hornets here. Magic here. They're in 7th. I think they're going to the playoffs. Now they still got to keep working here right now, and they're an underdog. Houston, meanwhile, currently in 3rd. They're not going to catch the Spurs. Obviously, there's more talk about the Spurs catching the Thunder right now, especially now that they're just 2 games back. But the Rockets here are in 3rd. They're tied with the Nuggets, actually. Not in the Rockets are 1 game ahead in the loss column. Timberwolves are 1 game back of those teams. The Lakers are 1 game back of the Timberwolves. So Rockets are in a pretty good position here. Well, you want to at least try to get that third spot now, but not every game's going to be easy here. You're going up against the Magic on the road. They've been looking pretty good actually here out of the break. They've covered 4 straight. Did lose to Phoenix on the road, but won 3 games on the road over Sacramento, Clippers, and the Lakers. I think that's pretty good. Houston, meanwhile, they're looking decent here too. They've won 2 in a row, albeit against Utah and Sacramento, but they covered 3 straight right now. Houston's still kind of crummy against the spread, though, as a favorite, 21-30 ATS. Meanwhile, Orlando, 17-9 straight up at home. They're not the best underdog, but I don't know. This feels like an Orlando team playing pretty well. These two teams met back in November. Houston got the win, 117-113 at home, but Orlando got the money in that game. For Orlando here, they've won 6 of their last 8, covered 5 of their last 6. Houston's won 5 of 7. They've also won 4 of the last 5 meetings with Orlando. Houston's won 5 of their last 6 on the road. Houston's gone under in 15 of their last 20 games. Again, they're 22-29 to the under as a favorite, but Orlando does trend over a little bit as a home dog. Let's see what you got here in this one with Houston taking on Orlo here. Even with Orlando's recent trend at over 216, is that what it is right now? That's modest, and I think the defensive profile might actually win out here. It's down to 215 right now. So let's see what you have in the chat, then I'll make my call. I think we'll be split in the chat. Let's see what you've got. All right, here we go, and it's going to be VAR says over. Robert's on the Magic here, getting some points at home. Art Thompson on the Magic. Bobby Mack here also on the under in this one. Gibson ratings here have this one Houston. I think Houston there for the Gibson ratings. Justin likes the Magic here today. Hello to Stacks. And Greg says Magic struggle against those West Coast teams. Yeah, but they just did. They actually just covered 4 straight against the West Coast teams on the road, beating Sacramento, Clippers, and the Lakers. They lost to Phoenix, but they still covered the spread. That was a pretty good trip. Public Enemy likes the Rockets on the money line. Jordy says Rockets money line. And Sengun, there 15 points. 9 Legacy Magic money line. And Greg says after the All-Star break, great teams get really good. I think there's no doubt we're in that mode right now. I think it's not only that, it's also the tank teams really bad. But these two are, pretty much hot in the playoff picture, kind of battling for position. I do think both, Rockets are going to be in for sure. I think the Magic is going to be able to hang on for this spot here right now. So go ahead and give me the Magic here at home in this one. I'll try the Madge here against the Rockets in this one. Houston's been strong straight up, no doubt about it, but I like that. Orlando 5-1 against the spread and winning 6 of their last 8. I think that shows they're playing pretty good. Home dog with good form. That seems attractive enough for me. I'll take the Magic here. Let's keep it going here right now with, you do have some tankathon action here with Spurs taking on the Nets. And the Spurs, can see the light now. I mean, they can see the light at the end of the tunnel, I think, if you want to say that. They can see the back bumper of the Thunder right now. San Antonio on a massive winning streak. And, well, what can you say? Brooklyn is not. Brooklyn's a reverse here. They've lost 5 straight. Basically got crushed in all of them. I think they might have got a cover in there, didn't they? No, they didn't. Brooklyn 0-5 straight up against the spread in their last 5 games. Meanwhile, the Spurs have won, is it 10 in a row, 12, 13, who knows? They've covered 8 of their last 10. They've also covered 5 of the last 6 here against the Brooklyn Nets. San Antonio's gone over in 6 of their last 9. Brooklyn's gone over in 6 of their last 9, but San Antonio is 17-24 to the under as a favorite, 13-9 to the under on the road, and let's see what you got here. But this is more Tanko action here, and the spread is it stale there on the screen? Nope, it is 12. So, look, the move has kind of been on the Nets here. Spurs have Mason Plumlee questionable. Keldon Johnson, I think he's questionable too. So, I don't know. This one looks a little I'm not taking the points here. In fact, I'm rather take a discount here. I mean, I saw the one book sent out a 14.5 in this game, and now you're getting a bit of a discount here at 12 or 12.5. The Spurs did obviously play last night. That is a factor here at Toronto as well, and they did not cover. They won on the road, 110-107, so that's got to be part of the build-up here. And, you're playing a weak team. Could Wemby take a day off? There's no indication that he is going to, but, if you're going to do one, right, do have an NFL trade here right now coming in. I think we probably should preempt this a little bit. It's not a bad little deal here. The trades can't be processed until next month, but the Jets are sending defensive end Jermaine Johnson to the Tennessee Titans for defensive tackle T'Vondre Sweat. That one just in. Jets trade defensive end Jermaine Johnson to the Titans in exchange for defensive tackle T'Vondre Sweat. Okay, let's see here. We're still looking here with the Spurs and the Nets. Andrew K was on the Spurs. 9 Legacy Brooklyn Nets, though, on the spread. Here's Barr on the over. Art Thompson's on the Spurs. And Jordy says the Magic is your sleeper of the day. Pacers here for the solution in their game against the Hornets. Greg says he's got Smackdown City here with the Spurs. And Robert says go under here in this one. All right, I got to take the Spurs here now. A little bit of a discount here, down to 12. So I'm going to take the Spurs here, even on the back-to-back, to roll in this one. Got a little steam in the background here with Maryland, Baltimore County. We already talked about the total in that game between Bryant and Maryland, Baltimore County that came in on the under. Now UMBC is getting steamed. They were 9.5-point favorites. They're back up to 11. It actually went down, and now here comes the steam back on UMBC just in right here. Okay, next up. Okay, look, this game's not in the tankathon, right? I mean, we've got an Atlanta team here, definitely alive. I mean, they're not in right now, but they are in 9th place, 2.5 games back of the Miami Heat, and they're playing well, and they're favored here by 10. You look another discount here, it looks like, because, like I said, maybe if it goes the other way this time, I'm really going to be mad because I do not want any of these teams here. Is that square? Maybe not, because the move are clearly on these bad teams. Good. I'm willing to take the discount and just ride with it and be wrong after yesterday. So I'm probably taking the Hawks here, but let's see what you got. Let's talk about this one. Atlanta, like I said, they're in pursuit of the playoffs. I mean, get out of the way here. The Wizards, meanwhile, we know what they're in pursuit of. They're 16-41. They're way out of it here right now. They've just lost 2 games in embarrassing fashion to Charlotte and Atlanta. Got crushed in those games. Atlanta, meanwhile, with wins over Brooklyn and Washington. Yeah, those teams suck, but so do the Wizards. They just won at home over Brooklyn by 11 as a 9.5-point favorite. They just won at home over Washington by 21 points as a 12.5-point favorite. Am I going to lay 10 points? I'm going to lay 10 points. That's what I'm going to do right here on the Morning Steam Show. I'm not even reading the trends. I'm just taking Atlanta. Actually, no, Atlanta is not a great home favorite at all. But again, I'm just playing the tankathon here. Still Washington 10-17 against the spread on the road, 22-31 against the spread as an underdog. Washington's gone over in 7 of their last 10 games coming into this one, and 5 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams have gone under, but I don't know. This one looks to me like it could be a little bit wild here. With this one, Atlanta could put up a really big number here, it feels like, tonight. Atlanta has gone under in 5 straight and 5 of their last 6 at home as well, but I don't know if that's going to happen here in this one. Although the teams met just a couple of days ago, and it was 119-98 is all. Atlanta won here at home as a 12.5-point favorite, like we said, and covered the spread, but it only went for 217. But might be going a little higher here in this one today. All right, let's keep it moving here. Let's see what we got in the chat. NYC Bars on the Wizards. R. Thompson's on the over here. Robert's on the over as well. Justin's got some props here with Nkongwu over in his rebounds there. Greg says Greg here says Brooklyn. The Hawks here in this one, I think. No, that is Hawks now. That's Hawks, yep. Atlanta in the under. Got it. Hey, the solution there. He's a little behind us, but he said, there it is. Hugo, look, I'm just a little tired. I know who Hugo Hornet. I know Hugo's his name, okay? I just forgot. It was on the tip of my tongue, wasn't it? Jordy's on the Hawks on the money line. 9 Legacy. Likes the Wizards to cover. All right, next up. Trailblazers and Bulls NBA action here for Thursday. And hey, welcome to more Tankathon here. Now, look, if we're going to talk about some of these, Portland does seem like a little bit more dicey than some of these other teams that are playing well. I say that complimentary to Portland. They're definitely in the playoff hunt here, although they're on the outside looking in. They're in 9th place currently, tied with the Clippers. Here, just a percentage point ahead of the Clippers, but both the Clippers and the Trailblazers are chasing the Warriors for the 8th spot pretty much. I don't know if they get, unless the Suns, maybe continue to collapse or the Lakers totally blow it. Might be, 3 teams for 1 spot here, Warriors, Trailblazers, and Clippers, with the Warriors in command right now. But fortunately for the Blazers here, they're playing absolutely one of the biggest tankers right now, it feels like, in the Chicago Bulls. I mean, these guys gave up already out of the break. They're on a massive losing streak right now, and they're not even coming close to covering, except that Knicks game. They did hang in there in that one. Chicago's lost 10 straight. They're 1-9 against the spread in their last 10 games overall. Portland's covered 4 of their last 6. They've covered 4 out of the last 5 against the Bulls, although they have lost 7 of the last 8 to the Bulls overall. 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams have gone under, but come on, this one's not going under, is it? Portland's gone over. Like I said, in 9 of their last 10 games, they're 18-6 to the over as a favorite here. The Blazers are going to score probably 130 in themselves in this one, aren't they? I think the Blazers are going to take this one, but I'm going to go with the over here with Portland and Chicago. Give me the over with these guys today. The Bulls absolutely are playing no defense at all. They're not really scoring that well either, but they just gave up 131 points to Charlotte last game. They also recently gave up 126 to Detroit. And I figure they'll get into a little bit of a high-scoring affair. They are 12-19 to the under at home here, but Portland, they don't play much D either right now. That's why they're not going to be probably going to the playoffs. They'll give it a try here. For Portland, they coming in off of a loss to Minnesota last time out, 124-121 as a 6.5-point underdog there. Portland is 32-27 to the against the spread this year, so pretty good here. They don't play with Chicago well, but it's a non-conference game, and I gotta think that they'll get this one. But give me the over as my play here at 236. See what you got in the chat here with this one. Trailblazers and Bulls. And 9 Legacies on the Bulls money line. Stack says he's got Klingon over 15 rebounds there. And the Gibson ratings here. Great to have Greg back here with us. Gibson ratings here on the Blazers there, I think. Portland and the under. There's Andrew K. He's on Portland. Robert's on the under here. So is our Toms. Uh-oh. And Robert liking Portland. Dimitri, Portland in the over. Hey, some steam just came in. How about it? North Carolina A&T gets the look here in their game against Wilmington. Hey, they're getting a lot of points. They're not a terrible cover, A&T. They were getting 13.5. It's down to 12.5 here now with North Carolina A&T taking the steam against Wilmington. Jordy likes the Bulls on the money line tonight, and Giddy score 15 points. They rejoice if the Bulls can get a win, right? Public enemy here. Portland -4. You know, maybe the Bulls are playing a team weak enough here. Look, they did play some tough teams during this stretch of losing. Let me read them off to you, just to be fair. Boston, Toronto, Detroit, the Knicks, and Charlotte. So, yeah, they lost all those and went 1-4 ATS, but that's a pretty stacked lineup of teams. Portland is not in that category. All right, next up. We're going to skip a couple of games, guys. With all due respect, Kings and Mavs, Pelicans and Jazz. Maybe we'll see them again on a 4-game slate or something. But we got a lot of hockey to cover. Let's go to the next basketball game with an impact on the postseason. And we'll take a look at this one with the Lakers taking on the Suns. Here with the Lakers favored by 5 total. 218. So Suns are showing a little bit of vulnerability here of late. All that hard work that they've had kind of dissipated a little bit here. They're still 33-26, and they're in the postseason right now. They're in 7th place. They're in pretty good position. I mean, they're 5 games clear of Portland here. I mean, look, there's 25 games to play pretty much this season, and, anything can happen. But it does feel like the Suns do have the down arrow here a little bit. But Lakers here, they've lost a couple in a row right now. A little bit of dysfunction here maybe, with LeBron and Luka not on the same page or whatever. Lakers lost to Boston and Orlando. They've also failed to cover in 3 straight. Arkansas Little Rock's team here right now in their matchup against Moorhead. Arkansas Little Rock was a 2.5-point favorite. They're up to 3.5 right now. Arkansas Little Rock just took the steam against Moorhead State. All right. And obviously here, maybe a lot has to do also with the fact that Booker has been out here. He's still out. And Goodwin's out for Phoenix here as well. Dylan Brooks is out with a hand injury. Cole Anthony, I don't think he's played yet. For the Lakers, Rui Hachimura, he's questionable. Jackson Hayes, probable. Lakers still come in 21-13 against the spread as a favorite, 16-13 against the spread on the road. Phoenix 18-13 against the spread at home, but they are just 2-8 against the spread in their last 10 games. They've actually failed to cover in 5 straight games right now. They played a tough schedule as well. Their last 5 opponents here, OKC, San Antonio, Orlando, Portland, and that was a real clunker, only scoring 79 points against Portland and then only scoring 81 points against Boston. They have really had some problems in the scoring department, talking about the Phoenix Suns. And seven of the last 10 meetings between these two teams have gone under, although the last matchup went over back on December 23rd, 132-108. Phoenix got the win. Phoenix has actually won 3 of the last 4 meetings over the Lakers here right now. 6 of the last 9 overall as well. Phoenix, though, just 1-7 against the spread their last 8 games at home. Lakers are 1-5 against the spread in their last 6. So we got here in this one, it's going to be from the chat. Robert here is, I think he's on the over in this one. Do I have a stale line there? Okay, let me fix that. Thank you, Robert. I think I'm on the under, but it is clearly 220 there, it looks like, for the most part, even 220 and a half, 221 at Bovada. It's only going up. But again, I'm more concerned maybe about Phoenix's scoring ability. Look, they actually, the big thing about Phoenix this year, though, has been, kind of their defense. I mean, they are a top five scoring defense, right? And one of the top teams in defending the three-pointer. Let's see here. Any other? Oh yeah, plenty more. Here we go. Public Enemy was on the Lakers there. Gibson rating says it seems fishy here. I think he's saying the Lakers should be a bigger favorite there, I think is what he's saying. Stacks here has got Luka to go over. Greg Gibson on the Lakers here. Barr says Lakers money line. Art Thompson, I see over as well. And Greg said someone good. Well, Booker, he's definitely an all-star type of player. And also Dylan Brooks got a broken hand. But those are, kind of built into the line, it feels like. In fact, I'm showing the Lakers right now just are going up here even higher. UMass Lowell right now is taking some steam in their matchup tonight. Lowell taking the steam here against Vermont. Lowell was getting 10.5. They're now getting 9.5 here. Steam on UMass Lowell in their game against Vermont. There's Public Enemy talking about that. So look, this one has clearly gone up to as high as 6 here right now, with the Lakers showing 5.5s and 6s here right now. 6 with the sharp books. I'll call it 5.5 because I still want to take the Suns here as an underdog here in this one. Give me Phoenix against the Lakers tonight. I'm still with them. We'll tell you here just a few moments ago, the Steam came in on the under in the game between Miami and Philadelphia. I talked it up as an over. A couple of you liked the under in the chat for sure. So the Steam has just come in on the under in the Miami-Philadelphia game. Also, the Steam just came in on Winthrop. Winthrop just took the Steam in their game. We already talked about the over taking the – or no, we didn't. But the over came in earlier on Winthrop and Charleston Southern. And now Winthrop has taken the Steam here. They were a 6-point favorite. They're up to 7 here, maybe even 7.5 right now. Winthrop just took the Steam against Charleston Southern. One more in the NBA. How about the Timberwolves taking on the Clippers? Look at this total. It's not that. Oh man, this total's gone down for sure here. Just here within the last few minutes, it feels like. We're selling this one down to 226, 225 and a half right now with the Timberwolves and the Clippers. The Wolves are even up to a 6-point favorite here offshore right now, although most of the books showing 5.5 here in this one. But that total is definitely going lower. We know the Clippers like to play those unders a little bit. Maine and Albany. Steam here to the under with Maine and Albany. It was 135. Now it's 134 here with Maine and Albany. Maybe 133.5 even here. Steam to the under with Maine and Albany. All right, Timberwolves and Clippers. But here, like I said, Clippers still in the playoff chase. I mean, they're out of the picture right now. They're in 10th place, 3 games behind the Warriors. Minnesota here, meanwhile, sitting pretty good in 5th place. You'd like to get up to 4th. They're a game behind the Nuggets and a game ahead of the Lakers. Minnesota coming in here off of a win last time out, 124 to 121 over Portland on the road, but they did not cover. Timberwolves continue to be a bit of a bad cover here, 19 and 29 against the spread as a favorite. Clippers 18 and 12 against the spread as an underdog here. Yes, the Clippers are missing personnel here tonight, including John Collins. Still got that concussion issue right now. But really, that's it. I mean, what are we really relying on here as far as the Timberwolves are concerned? I mean, the Clippers have been playing, pretty strong for sure. Yes, they've lost here to the Lakers and Orlando, and they need to win. But I don't know. They were covering a bunch of games before that last game against Orlando here, and they got to keep it going. They need to win these games. Timberwolves are kind of, I don't want to say complacent. Like I said, they'd like to move up. Minnesota's just 2-7 against the spread in their last 9. The Clippers are 5-1 against the spread in their last 6. 13-7 straight up overall. Minnesota's just 1-4 in their last 5 against the Clippers here. I'm on the Clippers in this one. Give me my Clippers against Minnesota here. And Clippers are my team, but I don't think I've told this story too often, but when the Timberwolves first came to the league, I met a man who I did not know who it was, but he was a part owner of a restaurant chain, a sports restaurant chain that was just opening up, and I was like the video engineer bringing in the signals on those giant satellite dishes, and this was in San Diego, but the owner was from Minneapolis, and he came in, and I met this man named Marv Wolfenson. He was introduced to me as the owner of the Timberwolves. He did indeed own the Timberwolves. I didn't, they were an expansion team. And I put on the Timberwolves game for him in a private booth so he could watch the game with his wife. And just was cool. And then a week later, I got this beautiful Timberwolves warm-up gear with the, pants. You know what I mean? When you take them off and they snap pants. And they had a cool logo when they started. It's still kind of the same logo, but okay, that's it for that one. I'm taking the Clippers. What do you guys have in the chat? Clippers for Justin. Public Enemy's on the Clippers. Jordy's on the Clippers money line. Gibson ratings here. I think that might be a little bit of lean to the Clippers. Yep, and the under there for the Gibson ratings. R. Thompson's on the under here. And NYC Bar says Clippers. Already a lot of Clippers. Here's Robert, though, staying with the Wolves here in this one. And Greg says, believe it or not, they play better on the road. Yeah, you know what? They are 16-12 on the road. That's a pretty good record, although 12-16 against the spread. But anytime you got a good road record here, I think that's pretty good. They are 20-11 at home, but a good road record. Okay, let's see here. 9 Legacy says Pelicans on the spread, Kings on the spread, Lakers on the spread, Clippers on the spread. All right. And right, the breakaway pants. I didn't use them to check in the game. Twisted. All right. Bakersfield here getting some steam tonight in their matchup. Bakersfield taking the steam in the last game of the day against UC San Diego. Bakersfield was a 15.5 point favorite. They're down to 14.5 here right now. Bakersfield taking the steam against UCSD. That's it for the NBA. We're going to do a quick college card here. I think I got 6 games picked out for tonight. Like I said, not a lot of great games here. There's not any real bubble teams going tonight. Teams necessarily can't win their conference championships here. So there's a couple of. I'm going to cover them right now. And I'm going to cover a couple of special games here, early starts today, because we just didn't have a lot. And I thought, let's cover the early ones. You guys always love to do that. In fact, we already saw some picks, didn't we, for this game between Charleston and Hampton. This one gets underway in 40 minutes, a little afternoon action here with the Coastal. And not to mention, look, we have some. We already mentioned that Wilmington game. Wilmington looks like they're going to win the Coastal. They are 2 games ahead. We just talked about that steam that came in the game against North Carolina A&T. Although A&T was the team that took the steam there against Wilmington, but Charleston, they're in second place. There is still an outside chance for Charleston here to end up in a tie, but probably unlikely. But you never know. Wilmington could lose to A&T, even though A&T is 4-11 in conference play. Still, second place here for Charleston, and for Hampton here, they are 6-9 in conference play, 12-16 overall. Coming into this one, hey, there's some more steam coming in here right now with Hawaii and UC Davis. Seeing some steam here, the under in this one with Hawaii and UC Davis. It was one. It was 149 here, and we are down to 147.5 with Hawaii and UC Davis. Some steam to the under just now here on the Morning Steam Show. All right. College of Charleston comes in here on a 3-game winning streak with wins and covers over Campbell, A&T, and Monmouth. Hampton, meanwhile, 3 straight losses and 3 straight failures. They lost to A&T, lost and failed against Hofstra, got blown out in that one, 79-43, and lost and failed against Stony Brook as well. So, yes, Hampton is 7-3 against the spread at home, but Charleston's covered 8 of their last 10. They're also 12-5 against the spread as a favorite here. I know the line is a little higher than 4.5 right now. In fact, I'm seeing 5s and even 5.5s here in this one. So it's definitely going up. It's going up, and NVIDIA is going down. What is going on with come on. How much of this NVIDIA do I have to buy here? NVIDIA is down 5% today. Please. Okay. Let me gather my thoughts here real quick. Alcorn State just took some steam here right now in their matchup with Texas Southern. Man, Alcorn State, you're talking about a team that Alcorn's a pretty good cover. Texas Southern, not so much, huh? Alcorn was a 7.5 point dog. They're down to 6.5 here right now. Alcorn taking the steam against Texas Southern. Man, gotta like that one, I think. All right, let's keep it moving, though, here right now. I got to make a pick. You guys give me a pick here. College of Charleston taking on Hampton. Hampton's 5-11 to the under as an underdog. Charleston's 6-11 to the under as a favorite. Coming into this one, Charleston, like I said, coming here 19-10. They're, pretty good team here for sure. Now, Wilmington leading the conference. They're 24-4. They've been awesome here this season. Get a few trends out here. This matchup with Charleston, they're 8-2 straight up against spread in their last 10. Hampton's lost 6 of their last 8. However, Hampton is 9-1 at home this season, despite the fact that they are 4-12 as an underdog. What a weird comparison there. Charleston 14-3 straight up as a favorite. Man, give me the under. Maybe I'll feel just a little bit better with the under here in this one with Charleston and Hampton, but probably liking the favorite here, even though that's a pretty good record for Hampton at home straight up. Let's go to the chat here a little bit in this one. Okay, Crib Keys 50-50 on this one. And VAR's on Hampton. Justin's on Hampton here, taking the home dog. Greg says Charleston 73-70, so that's going to be Hampton there as well. A little bit of news coming in here right now. Indiana's Pascal Siakam, he's going to be doubtful with that wrist injury tonight against Charlotte. Siakam, more trouble here for the Pacers. I think we already knew it's probably going to be out, but right now Siakam's going to miss tonight. He's doubtful anyway. All right, Philly Eagle Flyers, a little soccer action here. More steam in the background. Roberts on the under. Roberts on Hampton. Public Enemy likes the under. Kripke's going with Hampton. He did it. He said, we did it, chat. We helped him. And let's see, the solution says Hampton will cover. Man, the chat is on Hampton. There's no doubt about it. Kripke's a way to scare me off. No, look, you guys are obviously on Hampton. I noticed that. I'm going to the under here, I think. All right, one more move just came in here. Florida Gulf Coast and North Florida steamed to the under here with these two somewhat high-scoring teams. It was 161, but now we're down to 160 here, it looks like, with Gulf Coast and North Florida. All right, I think I got one more early start, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 Pacific, with Bethune-Cookman and Grambling. Like I said, not diving too much into the rest of these conference standings here, but you do have Bethune-Cookman here. They're going to be the champs in the SWAC. They are 12-3 here currently. They do have 3 games left, so technically Southern is still alive here, but Bethune-Cookman's been pretty strong here right now. It's going to be a tough game, though, against Grambling. The widely reported steam came in. I think the total's wrong, though. I think I got a typo there. But it's not too far off, actually. It was as low as 141.5, and it's up to 145.5 here in this one. We've heard Mike talk about the SWAC unders there a little bit. I've just all totally messed this graphic up, though. I'll call it 1.5 and 145.5. The widely reported steam did come in on the over in this game, make no mistake, and that kind of has driven it up here to 145.5. Clearly about a 4-point move off the opener. It doesn't even look like it's stopping here at this point. Now, for Cookman, they do come in here on a 2-game winning streak right now with wins over Alabama State and Alabama A&M. Grambling, meanwhile, was on a losing streak, but did just beat Mississippi Valley, thankfully, last time out, 83-62 to snap Mississippi Valley's 1-game winning streak. For Grambling here, they're 7-4 against the spread as an underdog. Meanwhile, Cookman 7-10 against the spread on the road. So maybe Grambling can get one here. They, Grambling at home is 7-3 straight up. Cookman on the road 5-10 straight up overall. Grambling's won just one of their last 5, going 1-4 against the spread in those 5 games. Grambling's won 6 of the last 9 meetings between the two, but Cookman's won 10 of their last 12. They've gone under in just 2 of their last 6 games overall. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone under here. So I don't know. Do you trust that steam? I don't know if I do. These two teams met back in January. Cookman won it 74-65 on the road as a 3.5-point favorite. In fact, the last three meetings, the two meetings last year and the first meeting this year, have all been won and covered by Bethune-Cookman here. So see if they can do it again here on the road. Give me Bethune-Cookman in this one over Grambling. I'll take Bethune-Cookman here to get the one more win that they need. They'll clinch it outright here, I believe, with a victory in the SWAC tonight. All right, here we go with Bethune-Cookman for Twisted. Philly Eagle Flyer and Jordy got some soccer in there for us. Stop Geo. Good morning. Greg Gibson here likes Grambling to win this one. He likes it to go over. Barr likes it over. Public Enemy's liking Grambling here. Greg says they got the wrong favorite. Robert's on Grambling. I'm over here on an island myself. And, well, I'm not on an island. I've got Twisted with me. R. Thompson is on the over. Greg says a little bit of revenge here for that 3-game winning streak right now. All right, I'm on Bethune-Cookman. All right, a few more here in college ball. Then we got a big hockey card to look at here still, everybody. High Point taking on Presby. Peeking at this one because High Point's moving in on winning the conference title. There are some other games where not quite as close here as this one, but we do have High Point right now in first place by a half a game. I'm sorry, by 1.5 games over Winthrop, but they're just one game ahead in the loss column over Winthrop here. For Presbyterian, they're actually 7-7 in conference play, but High Point's got that a great combination of Anderson and Martin, the senior-led team here. They're 26-4 overall. This is one of those real strong mid-majors here. They're kind of putting it down a little bit, although, like I said, Winthrop, always a great program, and they are just a game and a half back. Big number here for High Point, laying the double digits on the road at 10.5. It's up to 11 here, and it's all the way up to 153 right now. I was on a show last night going over 150. Look at that. A little bit of breaking news here right now. Kawhi Leonard, I talked about how that spread was moving up on Minnesota. It looked a little bit high. Kawhi is questionable tonight with an ankle injury. Just in here, some news on Kawhi. He's going to be questionable tonight in the game against Minnesota. All right, and we're talking High Point basketball. So let's see what you think in this one with High Point. Big favorite here, of course, against Presbyterian here, but they almost can see the finish line, and doesn't matter in this conference. You still got to win the conference tournament. High Point is on a big winning streak here right now with wins over Winthrop, over Cashville, over Gardner-Webb, over Upstate, over Radford, although they only went 2-3 in those games, actually, ATS. High Point here comes in 14-13 against the spread as a favorite. They're 8-2 to the over on the road. Also 18-9 to the over as a favorite. Presbyterian, meanwhile, 7-4 against the spread at home. They're 7-10 to the under as an underdog. Presbyterian comes in off of a loss to Upstate, 76-74 on the road. It was pretty much a pick-em in that game. High Point, big-time winning streak here right now. Will it end tonight? High Point is just 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games against Presbyterian, but 8-0 straight up. So usually they win, but they're just laying too many points to a team like Presby. And Presby, like I said, 500 team in conference play. I'm going to take them. Give me Presbyterian here in this one tonight. I will take them against High Point. The two teams met in January. High Point won it 84-81 at home as a 14.5-point favorite in that one. I'll take Presbyterian. All right, here we go. We've got Justin likes the over in this one. And Greg has this one for High Point, it looks like, tonight. And the under? Twisted's on High Point, though. And Greg said Jaylen Brown was questionable, but he played in the game, whoever they are. All right, Twisted likes High Point, Wilmington, Cashville, and Greensboro. Robert's on Presbyterian here. Greg says this looks like a blowout. All right. And for that one, let's move on here. Well, we got one. We gotta go to the Big Ten at least here. Michigan State taking on Purdue here. Purdue favored this one by 7. Is it still 7? Seven and a half, maybe even 8 right now. 7.5, 142.5. With Purdue favored at home over the Spartans here in this one. All right. For the Spartans here, they come in ranked 13th, 22-5 record right now. For Purdue, they come in here ranked 8th, 22-5, coming in as well. For the Boilers here, they come in off of a win over Indiana, 93-64. They blew out the Hoosiers at home last time out. They had their win streak interrupted with that loss to Michigan. Purdue just 6-11 against the spread at home. Michigan State, meanwhile, back-to-back wins against UCLA and Ohio State. For Michigan State here, they've gone under in 3 of their 4 games as an underdog this season. Purdue's 10-7 to the over at home. Purdue is 12-3 straight up on the road. Michigan State just 1-3 straight up as an underdog. See what you guys have in this one. These two teams have not met this year. Purdue has dominated the series here of late, but Michigan State did win the last meeting between the two teams February of last year. Almost a little more than a year to the date, 75-66. Michigan State won and covered in that game at home to stop Purdue's winning streak over Michigan State, actually. They had won several in a row over the Spartans. Let's see what you have in this one between Purdue and Michigan State here in West Lafayette on Thursday night. Michigan State's just 2-5 against the spread in their last 7 games overall. Michigan State's 14-4 straight up in their last 18. Purdue's won 5 of 6, but just 4-9 against the spread in their last 13. 9 of the last 13 meetings between these two teams have gone under here. Purdue has gone over in 10 of their last 15. Michigan State's gone over in 6 of their last 7. Coming into this one. Let me go to the chat here with this matchup. I'm going to need some help with Michigan State and Purdue here. All right. And we've got a little parlay action from Philly Eagle Flyer for the hockey. We'll get to the hockey here in just a moment. Bar is looking for some help with St. Thomas Tommy's here tonight. Tommy's, let's see here, under for Dimitri. He's leaning to Purdue. Greg here, the Gibson ratings are on Michigan State here, I think. Yeah. Public Enemy likes the under. There's Greg saying he likes Michigan State here. And Bar's on Michigan State, and Greg says Michigan State and the over there in that one. All right. I'm taking the under, though, with this one. Give me the under with Michigan State and Purdue. You know, Purdue does play. I don't know, these conference games at home, they do have a tendency to start to sneak up there right along this line here. But I'm going to go ahead and take the under in this one against the Gibson ratings, unfortunately. All right. Let's see what that number, it's been how many games here? Yeah, Purdue, man, they usually get to one. Yeah, it's going to be close. R. Thompson is on the over. So, okay, I'll come back here and take my lumps tomorrow with you guys. Okay, let's go now to the next one here with we go to the OBC with Tennessee and Missouri State. The OBC. Sounds like a shopping channel. That was one of my first jobs. I worked at the shopping channel. I was like, I'll get into show business by working in this. I was 18 years old, I think. Okay, let's go. Oh, where's the line? Where's the line? Okay, it is 4 and 155.5. Let me, man. Okay, there we go. Tennessee State, Missouri State. You got Missouri State favored here by 4. This is a pretty decent game here in the OBC right now. So, kind of said I'm staying away from those. Some of those games where there's first place teams in action. But here in the OBC, you've got Southeast Missouri State. They're 13-5. Tennessee State they're 13-5, and Morehead State is 14-5 right now. Morehead State leading here currently by just a half a game over these guys, but Morehead State just has one game left. All these teams can do here basically is win this game and then win their next one and hope that Morehead loses their game tonight. They're playing Little Rock. Morehead is actually an underdog in that game to Little Rock. We should make note of that. Little Rock, remember, the steam came in on Little Rock, so Morehead could finish 14-6 here, and then the winner of this game will be 14-5. So these are very important, interesting games here in the OBC here tonight. Tennessee State comes in 19-9. Southeast Missouri is 18-11. Southeast Missouri has won 3 straight right now coming in. Wins over Lindenwood, Martin, and Little Rock. All covers. Tennessee State, meanwhile, with back-to-back wins over Lindenwood and Edwardsville, and they covered in both those games. Tennessee State comes in here 6-3 against the spread as a dog, 9-6 against the spread on the road. SEMO, meanwhile, 4-6 against the spread at home here. SEMO also 3-7 to the under in their last 10 games. Tennessee State does kind of trend under, but they are 5-4 to the over as an underdog. So let's see what you got here in this one. Tennessee State, winners of 5 of their last 6, but they are just 1-4 straight up and against the spread in their last 5 games against Southeast Missouri State. Southeast Missouri State's won 9 of 10 coming in. They've covered 6 of their last 7. They've also gone under in 4 of their last 5 games overall. I've got Southeast Missouri State here to win and cover in this one at -4. All right, and let's see what we got here with. That's right, Greg. Yeah, I was one of the behind the scenes there. They wouldn't let me on the air. Cash gains on Morehead in that other game. And there's Robert on Southeast Missouri State as well. Greg on Southeast Missouri State there. He says he's got him by 5. He likes the under as well. Public Enemy, it's all Southeast Missouri State. Make sure you guys know. I know you guys are just doing it keep it short, but make sure we're putting in Southeast Missouri State when we're betting, because I think isn't Missouri State playing as well tonight, and I would hate to anyone put in the wrong bet. Maybe Missouri State isn't playing tonight, but okay. R. Thompson's on the under here. All right. Hey, I got one more in college basketball here. Let's go to the Big West, where things are still interesting there as well. You've got Irvine coming in here. Irvine is tied for first with Northridge and with Hawaii. All three teams are 11-5 right now in the Big West. Now, the Big West still has 4 games to play for all the teams. So, yes, they're all three at 11-5, but things are still going to be shaken out here. You got Northridge favored by 1. Total 154 here. Northridge at home against the Anteaters. For Cal State Northridge, they come in here with a record of 19-10. UCI is 18-10. Northridge comes in here on a serious winning streak right now. They actually are probably playing the best we've seen Northridge play in mighty long time. Northridge comes in here with consecutive wins over Long Beach, Santa Barbara, Hawaii, Riverside, Cal Poly. A good run here right now for Northridge. Right now they've won 7 straight overall, 5-2 against the spread in those 7 games. Irvine's won 14 of 20, but just 2-4 against the spread in their last 6. Irvine is just 5-2 against the spread the last 7 games against Northridge. Northridge has gone over in 13 of their last 19 games, but Irvine's gone under in 5 of their last 6. Irvine is 8-5 against the spread on the road, but Northridge is 8-3 against the spread at home. These two teams met in December. Irvine won it 85-71 as a 7.5-point favorite. It's usually an Irvine series, as I said. Northridge, though, did not cover last time out against Long Beach, but still had covers in 3 of their last 4 wins anyway. Irvine comes in off of a home loss to UC San Diego. They beat Long Beach. They beat Fullerton in there. UCI is 9-17 to the under this season, but Northridge is 16-10 to the over. Although I will say that when Irvine's on the road, when they're a dog, the games do tend to be a little bit higher scoring, and that's how I'm going to go with this one. I've got an over here with Irvine and Northridge tonight. Give me the over, 154. All right, and let's see if we got any picks here in the chat. Maybe our top's on the under. Maybe that's the last game. Let's see here. Robert on the over. Robert on Irvine there as well. Kane, thank you. Let's smash it, like it, pass it around. All right, that's it for college basketball. I mean, it's a big card. I mean, I've got 2 pages of college basketball games here, but like I said, they're not quite. Let's get to conference tournament action, man. We're going to have a good time in the conference tournaments here on the show. Okay, we got hockey tonight. We got a huge card. Every game's getting covered. For one, because we miss hockey. And every game, the teams still have a chance. Every game, you can say what you want about hockey, all the overtimes, and every team has, there's not really a lot of dominant teams, but hey, coming back from the break here, and what can you say? Okay, thank you, R. Thompson, with that total there on the last game there. Okay, but all these teams are still alive here right now, so we got to cover them all here until they're eliminated, or until they're, we know they're eliminated. Okay, so here we go. Let's get going with our big card here with the Devils taking on the Penguins here tonight. Penguins, whoa, man, $1.60 now. I was on a show last night, and then I was watching some tennis, and then I might have fell asleep, and now the line's gone up to $1.55, $1.60 here. That line's getting pretty high, considering it was $1.30. Didn't sleep long enough. $1.35 or so late last night. So for New Jersey here, they've lost 4 straight right now. They did play last night, first game back from the break. They lost to Buffalo 2-1 as Buffalo keeps it going there. Man, how about it? Pittsburgh $1.60, 5.5 over 25. New Jersey did not play well heading into the break, and they did not look that great. Actually, the game against Buffalo, they actually trailed 1-0 at the end of 2, and then ended up losing that one 2-1. For Pittsburgh here, they've been playing pretty well into the break, at least here. Pittsburgh had won 7 of 9 coming into the break. They did not play yesterday, so this is their first game back, while New Jersey has the back-to-back. Let me make sure the goalie computer here, because the goalie's been a little bit even less stable than normal, right? Maybe it could be here. Let's see here. Is it Markstrom? Could be Jake. Oh man, it could be Jake Allen. It feels like it could be Jake Allen here, but let's see what we've got here in this one. For New Jersey here, they're 12-10 straight up as an underdog. Pittsburgh, like I said, pretty hot here of late, 7-1-2 in their last 10, 13-8 at home this season. Pittsburgh here coming in. Like I said, they did not play yesterday, but did beat Buffalo 5-2 heading into the break. Pittsburgh and New Jersey have gone under in 4 of the last 6 meetings. New Jersey's gone under in 5 straight games here coming into this one. The Devils 5 straight unders, but 1-6 straight up in their last 7 overall. As I said, Pittsburgh here, man, let me see what you guys got in the chat. These 2 teams met back in January. It was 4-1 Pittsburgh. They also met back in November. New Jersey won it 2-1. Man, I was liking the Penguins there, but man, this price is starting to get a little bit high here right now. So let's see what you guys have. I'm probably going to have to go to the total here, I think. All right, Hughes for a goal here. Says Kane right now. Okay. Let's see here. There's Kripke talking about that Hampton there. Yeah, Crosby's on the injured reserve here. It's got to be a little bit of a factor coming in as well. Public Enemy on the money line. 9 Legacy. Pittsburgh puck line. Philly Eagle Flyer likes the Penguins. Art Tomps likes the Devils here. Greg's got it 4-2, actually, for the Penguins here. It'll be Markstrom. Pretty sure I agree with you right there, Philly Eagle Flyer. That's why I went with that like that. Yep. Greg says Devils are not to be trusted here right now. Okay. All right. I guess I got to make my call. I got to adjust on the fly here because I'm not going to go back to the well here a little bit right now with $1.60 here on the show, at least for the first. Although I need some winners after last night. All right. I'm going to go to the total here in this one. Give me the under here in this one with the Devils and the Penguins. All right, next up. Boy, don't like that game. Here we go with the Islanders on the road taking on the Canadiens. Islanders coming in here 32-21-5. Montreal 32-17-8. Canadians here, sizable favorite here in this one. $1. That might be a little lower than that here. Down to $1.45. Maybe there's some $1.55s out there. Total here mostly about 6 flat. It feels like here maybe shaded a little bit to the over, but I don't think it's 6.5 under anymore very much. So let's see here with the Islanders and the Canadians in this one. Sorokin in there. I think it's going to be Montembeault. I did see Dobish also listed, but let's see here what you have. I think it is going to be Montembeault, actually. I think it's going to be Montembeault. Let me see here. I'll put Montembeault in there. Montembeault, 3.1 goals against, 87.5% save percentage. Sorokin, 2.4 goals against, 91.6 save percentage here in this one. Look, if we get a good goaltending matchup here with these two, maybe some goals will be hard to come by. New Islanders are 11-19 to the under on the road, 16-22 to the under as an underdog. For Montreal, 16-12 to the over at home. Montreal 16-11 at home. We know the Islanders are one of the best underdogs in the league. They're 23-15 as an underdog. Talking about the New York Islanders here. And maybe a little bit of move to the Islanders for the most part, but let's see how you have it here in this one. I'm going to go to the chat, then I'm going to make my call in this one. All right, and it's going to be Greg says 4-3 Canadians. Philly Eagle Flyers on the Habs here, and Kane likes the Devils to win it 2-0. 9 Legacies on the Canadians puck line here, and our Tops is liking the under here in this one. These two teams have actually not even met yet this season, so we'll see what happens when the Canadians here take on the Islanders. Robert is on the Habs here as well in this one at home. You know, Montreal has won 8 of their last 10 at home. They've won 4 of their last 5 overall. Montreal and Islanders, neither of them played yesterday, so they are coming in here rested. Islanders still won 5 of 7 coming in the break, but they are just 1-4 against the spread their last 5 on the road against Montreal. And also, Montreal's won 7 of the last 9 as well here, I believe, at home. So I'm going to take Montreal here as well. Give me Montreal tonight over the Islanders. Yeah, I'll lay it here. I can get it up better than $1.55. I know that. And let's see. Public Enemy says Islanders Habs under. We're moving along here with our hockey card tonight. Next up, Toronto taking on the Florida Panthers. Toronto coming in here off of a loss last night. Man, I got to take my lumps here a little bit. I'm trying to play that season series on them, and Tampa's just too hot. So Toronto comes in here off of a loss. Meanwhile, for Florida, they are off yesterday, so they're rested here a little bit. We'll see how will affect these teams for not playing for, 2.5 weeks and then playing a back-to-back. That might be something to consider a little bit. These two teams met back in January. It was 4-1. Toronto got the win. Toronto also won at Florida back in December. They've outscored them 9-2 in the 2 meetings so far this season. Toronto here, though, just 11-15 as an underdog, but Florida 17-23 as a favorite here. But hey, good news for Florida, not necessarily when it comes to tonight's game, but did find out that Barkov maybe stepping up here, going to be returning back here quicker than you can know it here. Barkov, he's been out here for a while, obviously with a knee injury, but could make his return here soon for the Panthers. So That'd be big here for Florida as they kind of, well, they're looking pretty good here at this point, 29, 25, and 3, but they could use some more wins right now. Let's see what you got here. They're $1.60 here tonight are the Panthers, maybe down to $1.55 or so, total 6. Yeah, maybe 625, 6 over 20 or so. Florida does come in here not really playing that well into the break. They definitely were struggling a little bit towards the end of the first half, or whatever you want to call it. I mean, here we are down to the last 24 games or so here. Okay, let's see what you got in this one with the Leafs taking on the Panthers here tonight. And we've got Philly Eagle Flyer likes the Panthers in this one. And let's see, Cash Kane says Panthers money line and under. Greg has the Panthers winning this one 4-3. Yeah, I think that's going to do it for this one. Oh, man, I got to make my call here with the Leafs here. All right. I'm going to be on Florida in this one. I know it's a big number here, but I don't want to lay a puck line. I'm just going to take Florida here. I got beat pretty bad last night. If I get beat taking some favorites tonight, so be it. Greg has it as a close one. I need some wins in hockey. It was not a good card. Okay. Red Wings taking on the Senators here, and Linus Ullmark. I think he's in. I think we heard he's back for this one. I think it was just sent out here a short time ago that he's going to be in this game, actually. Let's see what I got here. Yep. He is upgraded to probable here, so I do expect him in goal here tonight for the Senators. That's good news. In fact, I think the line's kind of moved up here on that news, up to about $1.50 here right now, 6 under 15. So that also has been affected here, I think, with the return, or with Ullmark being announced in the lineup here tonight, the matchup between Detroit and Ottawa. Red Wings in here coming in 33-19-6. Ottawa 28-22-7. Red Wings were struggling a little bit towards the end before the Olympic break. Lost to Utah. Did beat Colorado, but also had losses to Colorado, Washington, and LA. Meanwhile, for Ottawa, they won over Philly. Tough game, but they won it. They did lose Carolina, beat Pittsburgh, beat New Jersey. They beat Colorado. They're playing well. Detroit here 15-9 on the road. Ottawa 14-10 at home. Ottawa also 22-18 to the over as a favorite here. Ottawa's won 5 of their last 6, 4 of their last 6 at home overall. 8 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams have gone over, although Detroit's gone under in 4 of their last 5 and 5 of their last 7 on the road. These two teams met back on January 18th. Detroit got the win 4-3. They also met 10 days earlier. Detroit won on the road 5-3 there. So they've won them both here between these two teams this year. We'll see what you got here. The spread's only gone up a little bit on Ottawa. And it's kind of like in Ottawa, but maybe move to the total here now with this increased price. I don't know. I think I'm going to take Ottawa. Let's see what you got in the chat. I've talked about, I'm taking some dogs tonight. That's what I said on them the first night, and it didn't work out. So might be on some favorites. Just okay, here we go with Cash Gains on the Senators here. 9 Legacy says Maple Leafs money line, Ottawa puck line. Gibson ratings on Detroit here. Also, Irish King liking Detroit on the money line. Greg Gibson says Detroit in an upset. Here's under for Public Enemy. And Kane says he's going with Detroit Moneyline. They're healthy coming into this one. And our tops is on the under here. All right, I'm going to take Ottawa here. $1.50 now. Got another favorite tonight. Give me the Senators. Philly Eagle Flyer went with the over. Next up, we're moving along here. And I've got next here Columbus on the road taking on the Bruins. It looks like Chet Greaves and Swayman. So probably have to check the goalie list here a little bit. All right, Boston here, just the slightest of favorites here, $1.15 total, 6.5 under 20 for the most part. Columbus was one of the hottest teams in the league when the Olympic break came in. They were smoking hot, actually, with a big winning streak. Consecutive wins over Chicago, New Jersey, St. Louis, Philadelphia as well. They've been a crummy underdog, no doubt about it, but this one's pretty closely rated. Columbus is an underdog, 11-22 overall. Boston 21-8 at home this season. Both teams, like I said, playing well here. Boston did have a few hiccups heading into the break. Neither team played yesterday, but Boston had losses to Tampa Bay and Florida. I guess nothing wrong with those, but Boston still won 9 straight at home, 10 of their last 14 overall. Coming into this one, Boston's gone over in 8 of their last 9. Columbus has won 5 straight on the road, but they're just 1-4 in their last 5 on the road at Boston, and they've also lost 9 of their last 12 to Boston overall. Columbus is on a 7-game winning streak coming in here, though, right now. And, if it wasn't for Buffalo, we said Columbus would be the team everybody's talking about. All right, let's see what you have in this one. I'm going to take the under here with Columbus and Boston. Give me the under here at 6.5 under 20. All right, let's see here. Bruins money line for Irish King and Geeky for an anytime goal. Cash Game likes the Blue Jackets here on the money line. And Irish King says it's going to be Corpusalo in there today. All right, better update that. Okay, there we go. Corpusalo here comes in with a 10-7-1 record, 3.11 goals against, 0.89 save percentage coming in. He gets a start here in this one. Boston won the last meeting, but teams haven't met yet so far this season. So we're going to see these two teams matching up here quite a bit in the last couple of weeks of the season. Last month of the season. All right, let's go to the next one here right now. Did we get all the chat comments in there? I think we did. 9 Legacy on the Bruins. Robert was on Columbus. Maybe a draw here right now. Okay. Got to keep it moving here. Next up, Lightning on the road taking on the Hurricanes. Oh, wow. This is a good one for sure. Got the Lightning coming in here 38-14-4. Carolina 36-15-6. Carolina comes in here on a winning streak right now. They've won 3 straight. Did not play last night, so first game out of the break here They won over LA, Ottawa, and the Rangers. Some tough games in there, but they look good in a 2-0 shutout over the Rangers before the break. Tampa did play last night, got the win 4-2 to keep that winning streak going right now. Man, Tampa Bay, how hot are they? And just keep on keeping on here right now. Tampa Bay on the road, 19-5 overall, 7-2 as an underdog. Man, Tampa Bay just continues to roll here right now, and Carolina's still going to be a favorite, probably because of the fact that it was still a back-to-back here for Tampa Bay right now. But they were at home and just shooting up here to Carolina right now. Let's see what you guys have here in the chat with this one. Tampa Bay and Carolina tonight. Carolina is $1.45, $1.50, total 6 over 15. It feels like. Yeah, I'm going to change it to 6 over 15 here for the most part. There we go. That basketball game underway, you guys, right now. If you're 10-5, Charleston leading Hampton here right now. Okay, here comes the plays from the chat in this one. It's going to be Carolina team total over. And Kane says, it's been over since that coaching change. That Columbus team's been hot. Here's the Canes for Philly Eagle Flyer here. Greg's got it as a 4-3 Tampa victory. Irish King is on the draw in this one. All right. I'm taking the over here in this one with Tampa Bay and Carolina. Give me the over 6. Like I said, I did take it down there, but you can grade me a 6.5 under 15 if you want. I'll take over in this one between the Lightning and the Hurricanes. Okay. All right, Nine Legacy's got Tampa Bay Lightning here tonight. Or is he playing MLB? A little bit of steam here real quick. We'll get to the rest of the NHL, but North Carolina A&T and North Carolina Wilmington. We already talked about A&T taking the steam in that one. Now the steam's coming in on the over here. It was 146.5. It was 146. And we're seeing it go to 147.5 here right now. Steam to the over with A&T and Wilmington. All right, and next up here, the Flyers are taking on the Rangers in this one. You wish it was a better game. It's still Flyers 25, 21, and 11. Rangers 22, 29, and 6. Rangers at home. We know they're no good there. 6 and 15 straight up at home are the New York Rangers, but Philadelphia 13 and 26 as an underdog. Rangers are 8 and 15 to the under as a favorite, 8 and 17 to the under at home. Philadelphia 18 and 10 to the over on the road, and 25 and 14 to the over as a favorite. These two teams met back in January. Rangers won it 6-3. They also won back in December 5-4. A couple of high-scoring games there in that one. But look, it's not quick. I'm pretty sure it's Igor, right? Pretty sure Igor is the goalie in this game. Did anybody see something different here? I'm going to put Igor in there just in case. There we go. I think it is Igor, right? All right, let's see what you got here in this one. As I said here, Rangers did not play last night, but they lost 4 straight coming in. Losses twice to the Islanders, also to Pittsburgh and Carolina. Philadelphia, meanwhile, lost to Washington last night. They're in here on the back-to-back, actually, in this game. They lost to Washington 3-1, but I'm going to take them here, actually. I'm taking the Flyers on the road. I did lose with them last night, but I'm going to come back with them here on Thursday. Give me the Flyers at plus 105 or so. Okay, here's Cash Canes on the Flyers here. Greg says 3-2 Flyers here. And maybe over for the Rangers there for Philly Eagle Flyer. Jordy's on the Flyers money line. Robert likes the Rangers here. Also, Rangers are in trouble, says Greg today. Irish King likes the Rangers on the money line and over in a parlay. All right. I'm keeping the flow going here a little bit so we can get this one wrapped up. 2 hours with you here today on the morning steam show. So Seattle's next. I'm going to go kind of quickly here. Seattle's next here on the road, taking on the Blues in this one. Yeah, Seattle played yesterday. I know it was on them there. Another L for me, but they did lose to Dallas there 4-1. Still, Kraken have been playing pretty good. Into the break anyway. They are coming in here right now 13-12 on the road. St. Louis, though, they're the worst favorite in hockey. They're 3-13 as a favorite. Man, you got to think maybe here with Seattle as plus money. I mean, 3-13 is a favorite. We've talked about it before, but that's awful. St. Louis is coming in here off 3 straight losses. They did not play last night, so it's their first game out of the break. They actually played well in several games here down before the break. It's just that they could not get over the hump. They were losing them all. Here's a little bit of steam here real quick. Riverside and Santa Barbara is on the move right now. Steam here to the under between Riverside and Santa Barbara. It was 143.5, 42.5 here right now with Riverside and Santa Barbara. Steam to the under just in here to the Steam Center. All right, so let's see what you got here in this one with Kraken and the Blues. Now, these two teams met back in November. Seattle won it 4-3 at St. Louis. Man, I'm going to take the Kraken here. I know I lost to them last night, but the Blues are 3-13 as a favorite. Let's try the Kraken here. All right, here we go. Kraken 4, Cash Cane in the over. Philly Eagle Flyer says over in the Blues game. Art Tops has the over in this one. And they tried to get him go to rehab, but he said no, no, no. Jordy is on the Kraken on the money line here. And we got some steam coming in the background here. Portland State and Montana State. Steam to the under here in this one. It was 141. Steam coming in on the under. We're down to 139 here with Portland State and Montana State. Steam to the under. All right, we got a few more here. We're not done. Next up, Chicago is taking on the Predators here. Pretty big favorite here. The Predators, $1.75 or so. Total 6 over at minus 115 for Nashville here. They come in here 26, 24, and 7. They have lost 2 straight coming into this one, although they did not play in the first night back. Chicago did not either. They are in off of a loss to Columbus. They haven't been looking great. 22-32 as an underdog are the Blackhawks here this season. For Nashville, they're actually 15-12 at home, 9-6 as a favorite. Nashville here has lost the meeting between these two back in January, 3-0. The Blackhawks won it, and they also met back in November, but Nashville won that one 4-3, so they both won on each other's home ice so far this season. I'm going to try the Blackhawks in this one at this big price. Give me Nashville here over Chicago. I'm going to take it plus $1.50 or so in this one. I will take 1 or 2 underdogs here. I'm going to try Chicago here. Hasn't been pretty, but let me go with them here. Nashville had a couple losses here into the break. Okay, it's going to be Cash Canes on the Blackhawks here. And Bedard, anytime goal, huh? And Gibson ratings here are on the Predators. Okay, a couple more here. Cruising along. Next up, Wild and Avalanche. In this one, you've got the Avalanche favorite here, about $1.55 or so. Maybe down to $1.45. Seeing some $1.50s out there. Colorado's been so great this year. They've actually stumbled a little bit. Minnesota came into the break hot. One of the hottest teams in the league there. They had consecutive wins over Nashville, Montreal, Edmonton, Calgary, and Chicago. Not the toughest of games, but they did knock them all out. Minnesota comes in here 17-8 on the road, 14-9 as an underdog. Also, they were clicking heading into the break, but still going up against mighty Colorado here. Colorado did play last night, won on the road, 4-2 at Utah, 21-3 at home. What can you say? They're still great here, but I want to try the Wild here, I think, in this game. These two teams met in December. Minnesota lost at 5-1, but the November meeting, Minnesota won at home 3-2. And I think I want to try Minnesota here, actually. Minnesota is 18-10 to the over on the road, 13-10 to the over as an underdog. Give me Minnesota here over Colorado tonight. I'm going to try the Wild in this one. Here we go with Philly Eagle Flyers got the over trifecta. Cash Kane's going to lay it with the Abs. Robert's on the over here, and Greg says he's got the Wild winning. It's going to be a wild one for sure. And Henley says, you got to stop trying to fade the Avalanche, Ramon. What are you doing? I mean, come on, the Avalanche here. But they're 9 losses this season and 9 overtime losses, and still they've been pretty great. Okay, a couple more here. We got the Flames taking on the Sharks in this one with the Sharks minus $1.25. Total 6 over 15. Man, the Sharks. Look, we're going to cut some teams out soon. This one was kind of close, right? Not saying the Sharks have totally slipped up here yet, but they did lose several games in a row heading into the break. 4 straight losses, albeit to Edmonton, Calgary, Chicago, and Colorado. So still kind of slipped up here a little bit. But come on, they're taking on the Flame. the Flames. Sounds like a women's basketball team. The Flame. But Flames came in. They beat Edmonton their last game into the break, 4-3. But still, they're 8-17 on the road. San Jose's 14-9 at home. You gotta like them probably in this spot. San Jose, they've had some unders here of late. Calgary's 15-12 to the over on the road. But give me the under here in this one with Calgary and the Sharks. Hope you don't mind. I'm going kind of fast here now and wrap up the show. Don't forget, we do have a drawing here at the end of the show. I want to make sure you get a chance to win some free picks from me. Here we're going to have a drawing in just a moment for everyone that has commented in the chat. Hopefully you want my picks here. I know it's been a rough couple of days here for me on the picks, but man, okay. Let's see here. Greg's on the Flames 4-2. There's Flea Mathis in the chat that says the horse don't stop going. I don't know what that means, Flea, but I agree with you. The horse don't stop going. He just keeps going. Remember the race when the one time the horses were coming around the turn? This is probably 10 years ago. And they had the auxiliary gate, or maybe it was the regular gate, but they had already moved it to the side. The horses came all the way around, and then the one horse went all the way around the gate, which was horizontal to the fence, still won the race. Anybody ever see that one? Okay, Robert's on the Sharks. Looks like Rublev might be moving in on a win here over Rinderneck. We did have this one, it looks like here. This was our VIP selection. Is about to close it out here. It looks like Rublev, Rinderneck is serving here, but he's down 5-3 in the second set after losing the first set 6-2. Okay, let's see here. Greg's on the Flames. Public Enemy's on the Flames. Flames look pretty good here, or I don't know if they do actually. I might be on the Sharks, but give me the under here on this one. I got one more, and we got to go, you guys. Thanks a lot, everybody. Long show today. And like I said, we're going to get rid of some more teams here. Oilers and Kings tonight. The Kings, what a wild game for the Kings last night against the Golden Knights, although they did lose for their fourth straight loss and first one here out of the break. Obviously gave up 6 goals in that game here. And look at this total, 6.5 over 15. It feels like it's already at, wow, it's only, I like the over. I can tell you right now, I'm going over in this one with Edmonton and the Kings tonight. Do we have to break it down? Kings here, pretty much a solid over here of late. They went over against BGK last night, 6-4 out of the break. Edmonton, meanwhile, lost that incredible game last night, 6-5 to Anaheim. Look, I don't think this one's going to be 6-5, but it might be 4-3 here. Edmonton, they are, I think Edmonton is a slight favorite here right now. I'm going to move them to the minus 115 favorite. Yeah. But this total has moved up just slightly. There we go. 115 and 6.5 over. I'm committed. I'm going over in this one with Edmonton and the Kings tonight. I think the show's over, gang. I've kind of lost my train of thought here over the last several minutes. Just let's see here. Do have a little bit more steam real quick here. Wow, look at this one. This one is on Portland and Chicago. Remember, I was talking up the over. I took the over. Well, the steam just came in on the under with Portland and Chicago. Uh-oh. It was 235.5. We're down to 234 right now. Steam to the under with Portland and Chicago. All right, that's going to do it here for the morning steam. Thank you, everybody, so much for putting up with me a little bit. Man, I was running out of gas there a little bit. Let's see. Oilers for Greg. He says he doesn't see them losing back-to-back right now. Okay. Let's go to the drawing here real quick. Let's hear from Mikey Money for Winnable.
Hey, it's Mikey Money here, letting you know the Sports Money team is live on Winnable. Come check out our best bets.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines, just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work, you get the plays, and they're sent right to your phone right when we drop them.
Don't wait, don't guess, don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.
Okay, and we're doing the drawing here real quick, and then we're getting out of here. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Hey, hopefully you're subscribed to me over at winnable.com. Get some more plays from me. I just hit this tennis match. At least, hey, Bobby Mac's going to get another month on there. Thank you for all your support, Bobby Mac. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate everybody here on the chat today. That's going to do it for the Morning Steam Show. Oh, there we go.
Final.
See ya. See ya, Bobby. See ya, Bobby. All right. Hey, that's going to do it. Join Mikey Money today at 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific. Mikey joins you here for the primetime action here tonight. And also, don't forget, check out BB MMA picks underneath the live tab here. We previewed the fights for this week as well. So, all right, hopefully that'll do it. Hopefully I'll get some hockey winners, man. I'm on tilt. That's what it was. That's going to do it. We'll be back tomorrow with more Morning Steam. And for the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the morning steal. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the mother.